Welcome all on the YouTube channel from CryMore Streams. Here is Rafał together with my wife.
Hi.
We have decided to record the video in English because most of my videos are in Polish, so I would like to describe what I do with Carolina Streams and what I tell to my fans in Polish. On my YouTube channel I would like to share my experience with Carolina Streams. I would like to tell you more how I breed them, what I breed, how I do the selective breeding, how I take care about plants, how I feed my shrimps, what do I do to keep them thriving and happy.
So today it would be the introduction to your new room, yeah?
Yes, and I would like to encourage you all to ask any questions in the comments.
So possibly we can do Q&A in English instead of doing it only in Polish.
Yes, this first video gives an introduction to the series in English, and I will do my best to help you in keeping them happy and alive.
So let's say a few words about what happened here within last few, I don't know how many weeks.
Okay, within last few weeks we started our new shrimp room. We have decided that we will move shrimp tanks from the house.
So that's the shelf waiting for the tanks from the house.
Yeah, these shelves are waiting for the tanks from the house, and I will move them here when those tanks are cycled, and I will be able to move my shrimps to those tanks, and then I will do one tank by one.
So before you tell us about each and any of the shrimp tanks you have, can you tell us what were the steps to prepare this room? What kind of shelves you use, what kind of ventilation you have to do for it? Just a few words.
Okay, first we had to do the sailing, and together with my friends from Galactic Streams, who we of course greet from that side, from that place. We did the sailing, then I had to paint the room.
So all DIY?
Yes, and I'm still working on ventilation, which is not done.
So air condition in the future, possibly?
Probably air condition, yeah. We are in front of the summer in Poland.
I will show the room from different angle maybe, because you had just seen a piece of it. So that's more or less what you have to use. So shelves, what kind of shelves did you use? What the capacity, or I don't know, weight you can put on it?
You can put 500 kilos on each shelf, but you need to remember that this shelf has to be waterproof.
So you replaced the original ones?
Yeah, I replaced the original ones for waterproof, not to destroy my tanks.
So Home Depot, Leroy Merlin, Castorama, any of those?
I ordered them online in the Polish shop. I don't buy them.
Oh, I mean the shelves only. The shelves.
Oh yeah, shelves you can order in Leroy Merlin
and this sponge, how
this is 5 millimeters sponge to
protect the tanks. Okay, and what about this plastic thing here?
We will tell more about that, but this is an air coming from the pump, which powers the filtration inside all the tanks.
Okay, so let's switch to each and every aquarium you have.
Yeah, let's switch to each aquarium. We decided to start with shrimps before summer here, because from my experience it's the best time to cycle the tank when temperatures are not that high, but during the cycling they arise and it helps to cycle the tank, which I will maybe tell more about. Okay, so we are looking at brand new tanks, something around 2 weeks old. They are still cycling, and I think we will start with the heart of that rack, which is air pump. Air pump gives us 6,600 liters per hour, and all the filtration is done by that. I use Atman HP 12,000, which is connected to PVC pipes, which I did by myself. So I use double filtration in all my shrimp tanks, and here we can see typical filtration I use. I use UJET free for the mechanical and some biological filtration, and the heart of the filtration is under gravel filter with good ceramics inside, and based on East under gravel filter, which is quite high. You can see that it's not touching the bottom of the tank, but it's quite high and gives more place for the water to cycle down there. Okay, so we are looking at the first tank, which is based on platinum soil. I believe that and I think that this soil is one of the best looking soils. I'm coming back after years to that soil, which proved to be successful, but maybe I made some mistakes. But this soil will be dedicated for super crystal red shrimp. I'm coming back to my old lines, and I want them to be here. So how do I start the shrimp tank? Because it is very important to start it in a correct way. You can see the layer of the soil, and you can see bacteria which are growing on the soil. This is normal phase of the cycling process of my shrimp tanks. First week, or something around week and a half, I start my every shrimp tank on pure reversed osmosis water, and I add 2 products which help to support bacterial load in the tank. One is done by Qualdrop, and it is mostly bacteria to start the tank. And second one is magic powder from SL Aqua, which I use for conditioning enzymes and other bacteria in the water. So we have first tank on platinum soil. Second tank is on ADA Amazonia Light, and both tanks cycle, but both tanks cycle in a different way. You can see more bacteria on ADA Amazonia Light, but the color of the soil is not so deep, and that's the only thing I don't like in that soil. But this soil is pretty good. These tanks have already 2 weeks, so water is mineralized, and I will tell later how I do this. But you can see that filters are working. I don't do water change. I will wait something around 2 weeks for the first life in the aquarium, first signs of life. Then I will do the 50% water change, and probably after a week I will add shrimps. Okay, let's go on the middle shelf, yes, and we can see 3 tanks on the same soil. This soil is made by Qualdrop, by the company that cooperates with many aquaristics shops and online shops. This soil is named master soil, and I used two types or three types of that soil. I used normal one, I used powder on the top of the under gravel filter, and I used super powder in front of the under gravel filter. Okay, and inside the under gravel filter is, I think, one of the best filtration medias I used so far. They are done by Qualdrop. You can find them on the internet. They are named Hyperpore and Primepore, and maybe I will just add it to the...
Can you show us the jars of it? Just
yes, we can...
I think it's easier to imagine that.
We can find those two.
So this is the small one?
This is the small one.
Here, and that's the big one.
And Hyperpore is the bigger one, and they proved to be very successful. At home I have boas on that ceramic media.
So maybe let's talk about the layers. What we have here in this filter?
Okay, we have from the top, we have soil.
Okay, what kind of soil do you use here?
This is master soil.
Then
we have, I missed the word, Gąbka.
Sponge.
Yeah, we have a sponge, and then we have something around 2 liters of Primepore and Hyperpore mixed together. And then we have a catapa in front and really thick layer of the soil, something around ½ centimeter, just to make some good photos. Of course I will add some plants, mostly moss, but...
How old are these plants? When did you set them?
These plants are 2 weeks old.
Okay, and you changed the water once?
Yeah, I changed the water once. I started them on pure reverse osmosis water, then I replaced it with mineralized water.
Okay. And what we have here?
And we have banana leaves, just to add some more bacterial load for shrimps, as on those leaves.
So you start the biology here, yeah?
Yeah, I start the biology. The most important thing for my shrimps is biofilm, and I want to create that biofilm during the cycling process.
So just to sum up with this tank, so what do you need to start the first tank of your life? Like, I would like to start my own, because I'm not breeding shrimps, I'm just helping here.
Okay, if you want to start it like I do this, you need under gravel filter, you need UJET free filter.
So this one?
Yes. You need something around 3 liters of the soil for one tank. Here I have backup of ADA Amazonia.
So this one is down.
Yes. And you need something around 2 liters of filtration medias. I recommend Qualdrop medias because from my experience they are one of the best. And at the last shelf we have ADA Amazonia 1 cycling.
And you have different kind of filtration here, isn't it?
The only difference is I used some cheaper filtration medias from ISTA, but they are also very good, but they are more economic if it goes about the quantity and the price.
So just ceramic is different, yeah?
Yes, but all tanks are made the same way. So,
but hold on, the question: why is the water darker in that tanks on the lower shelf?
Okay, if you use ADA Amazonia, you will discover that this soil releases a lot of unneeded minerals for shrimp, and that's why this water seems a little bit darker.
But will it disappear in time?
Yeah, it will disappear after something around 5-6 weeks.
Okay.
These tanks will cycle for 5-6 weeks.
And what about the lighting here?
Okay, and another thing is that you can always use some bulbs and try with do-it-yourself lights, but from my experience I like good light and nice looking light.
Can you tell a little bit of what you used and what are the parameters and specifics of this?
Okay,
lighting?
In my all shrimp tanks I use light from Aqua-L. I use plant type of the light, and here we can find plants 36 watts.
So this is a Polish company. If somebody wants to buy it from abroad?
This is a Polish company, but more and more available around the world. Check it with your good shrimp supplier.
So as far as I remember, you have the same kind of lighting or the same company of lighting. Why did you choose again to use Aqua-L?
Okay, because at home I have three lights like that, and they have been working for 3 years so far without any damage, any problem. That's why I decided to carry on with those lights.
As far as I remember, one of our Polish viewers said that this lamp is also available in a combination of plant and sunny.
Yeah, but for a smaller tanks. If you want to have such a long one, it's available in sunny and plant mode. But
do I really need sunny if I want to do shrimps, Caridina shrimps?
No. From my experience, you need plant, because plant has 4 types of lights: red light, blue light.
That's what you see in the water.
Yeah.
The splash.
So, and really tanks look beautiful, as you can see this on other videos on my YouTube channel. You can find that those lights show the best colors of shrimps and plants.
The other question I have for you is what's the size of the tank and what's the measurements?
Okay, the tank is 42 liters gross.
How much water do you put in it? More or
I
less?
put something around 37 liters in each, because you need to count also soil, medias, and other stuff like that, so you can put something around 37 liters of water. And now it's a good time to show how do I do the water and what do I use for that.
Hold on,
Yes,
before you say so, you tell us what it is.
Yeah, okay, so we have a 300 liter tank, and here I have my pure arrow water, and to remineralize it I use those salts.
Can you tell the name, because I'll probably say different.
These are one of the first salts that were made for shrimps. Salty shrimp, B shrimp, mineral GH+. And I remineralize my water to around 270 microsiemens, which gives me something around 5.75 GH, 0 kH. Okay, so we have salts. We know what salts do I use. I use
meter.
Yeah, TDS is EC meter from HM Digital.
I think you use few of them and they are different, yeah?
Yeah, but I have 2 from the same company. I don't use cheap ones. I believe that if you have, for example, 500,000 shrimps worth, I don't know,
millions.
10,000 euros in one tank, it's good to have the best.
Do you have to calibrate it?
Yeah, you calibrate it. There is also Qualdrop does 250 US
liquid
to calibrate those meters, and you need to remember that you have to calibrate it within the range that it works mostly. So you cannot calibrate it in 750 US when it works between 200 and 300. And then we have arrow filter.
Okay, so what's that? What's that?
Okay, so we have arrow filter, we have sediment filter 5 microns, then we have carbon filter, and then we have sediment filter which is 1 micron, and then there we have 2 membranes. One membrane 100 GPD, then the second membrane also 100 GPDs, and
how's the water circulating in it? Where it goes, where it goes out?
It comes from here.
So the top, and then
here it goes through the sediment, then to carbon, then to second sediment filter, and then from here it goes there and shows the pressure, which is 4 bars.
Okay.
And it goes on the first membrane.
Yeah.
Pure water, pure osmosis water from the first membrane comes here.
Yeah, to the tank.
And bad water comes to the second membrane. And the pure water comes from the second membrane here.
So you refilter the bad water, yeah?
Yes, and the bad water from the second membrane comes here
and goes
outside.
And I will be watering my flowers with this.
Yes,
probably.
we will be using it in the garden.
Okay. So what do we have here? All these electronics and all these cables.
Okay, so we have a pump that helps me to...
Can I squeeze my nose in there?
Yes, we have a pump from Aquanova which helps me to...
Is it working now? No.
No, it's not working now because we are preparing water for the water change at home.
Okay.
So it does the water.
There's a pump and regulation to the pump, yes?
Yeah, we have, and we add salts directly here, and we use this one to also mix the salts, then to water change in tanks at the end.
Okay.
So when we discussed how I prepare the water, let's close the topic for now. I do 270 microsiemens. I keep it like 5.75 GH. I use pump to mix the salts. You need to remember that before water change, you need to be sure that you mixed salts correctly and everything is dissolved in the water. So thank you very much for your attention. Welcome again on our YouTube channel, where we will discover our shrimp adventure, our shrimp adventure, and we will share our experience with you. And feel free to comment, and thank you again for attention, and it's always until next time.
Yeah guys, stay
Take
safe,
care.
stay at home. Bye bye.